Hello and welcome to the Forbes India One CEO Club in partnership with Google Cloud, a unique series that recognizes and celebrates India's finest CEOs. We're in Mumbai at the headquarters of Godrej Consumer Products, renowned for its personal and home care brands. Brands like Synthol and Goodnight took wing in the television era. But how does a company use technology to capitalize on this brand power? Let's find out from Vivek Gambhir, CEO and Managing Director of Godrej Consumer Products. Vivek, welcome to the show. Let's start with brand Synthol. It was a brand that has evolved as a soap in that particular category. In the digital era, the management of Godrej Consumer Products has decided to repurpose it for niche segments like male grooming. What is the rationale of doing this and what have the challenges been?
Synthol's been an iconic brand that's been loved and trusted by millions of our consumers over generations. And the brand has always stood for freshness and confidence. And over the years, we felt like the brand had so much more potential to go beyond soaps. And so as we were looking at the next wave of growth opportunities, we began doing a fair amount of work to understand what the possibilities for extending the brand were. And what was surprising was that a lot of people mentioned about a Synthol shaving cream and a Synthol gel, but we never really had those products. And then we realized that we were actually sitting on a gold mine, and so why not try and look for some opportunities to really take the brand to the next level. And that's where I think the growth options of Synthol really emerged.
In the past 5 years, more than 20% of the revenue has come from new product launches. How much of a role has technology played in identifying these categories that Godrej wants to play in?
Leveraging technology has been a very important enabler for us to drive growth, both in our core business and in our innovations. There's a huge amount of data available, so to be able to actually sense the market, understand some of the trends, to be able to generate demand and fulfill demand, have relied a lot on different uses of technology. We've used technology for insight generation. We've used advanced analytics to be able to really try and bring to our consumers winning differentiated products at very short cycle times.
Most FMCG companies like to or tend to outsource R&D, but you've been very particular about retaining that in-house. In the same context, you have a platform called Ride. So could you tell us more about what Ride is about?
Ride for us really is the anchor for our innovation system. Innovation is our lifeblood. What Ride does is an integrative approach that tries to integrate all the various functions that are critical to bring innovations to market. It encourages whole brain thinking, encourages experimentation and prototyping, and also enables us to learn and fail fast. For us, it is all about collaboration and agile execution. And Ride, which is far more integrated and brings functions together, enables us to do that.
With so many product launches happening simultaneously, how much of the new business is coming from rural areas in India?
So for us, rural is about 30% of our business, but a huge amount of growth is from rural. So historically, rural has been growing at almost 2x of the urban growth rates.
On the distribution and logistics side, how have computing trends like IoT or Internet of Things made a difference to management thinking for Godrej Consumer Products?
It's been a big area of focus for us, still in its early days, but what we found is tremendous benefits from being able to leverage technology, particularly tools such as IoT and more advanced analytics tools. So for instance, one of our big themes that we're pushing on is Industry 4.0. And as part of Industry 4.0, we are looking at connected machines and smart manufacturing. So within the manufacturing domain, there is a lot of work that's been going on to be able to use IoT to be able to remove bottlenecks, reduce downtime, and improve productivity in our factories. We are using IoT a lot, for instance, to be able to improve quality as well. So in some of our liquid vaporizer lines, we have robotic eyes or visual sensors to be able to improve our quality. On the planning and logistics side, still early days, but there is a fair amount of work that's going on in fleet management and tracking to be able to improve lead times. A lot of work going on in terms of warehouse capacity management. Also work that's been going on in terms of route plan adherence. We are also trying to ensure better adherence to planograms in stores to ensure more ready availability of our stock available on shelf, and that leads to much more dynamic replenishment of stock. So still early days, but we are seeing tremendous opportunities by using IoT, robotics, machine learning, and advanced analytics.
Does the internet allow each of your products to have an independent identity now? Have we reached that point as far as Godrej Consumer Products is concerned? As opposed to in the television era, having a slightly, the branding Godrej was as important as marketing the brands. Have we reached a point now where the products can stand alone because of their digital identity?
It depends. In some cases, the Godrej brand name adds a lot to the brand. In some cases, it's not necessary at all. So the decision actually gets made at an individual product and a category level. But the Godrej brand name does stand for trust, integrity. So it has some very important values it can build on. But certainly for some categories which might be more millennial friendly, I think we tend to make the product brand stand out. There is no one size fits all answer, but I think we use it based on the nature of the category and what the role of the brand needs to be.
Thank you, Vivek, for sharing your insights from the Godrej Consumer Products journey.
My pleasure.
Well, that's all we have in this episode of Forbes India One CEO Club in partnership with Google Cloud. But do join me next time as we meet another CEO navigating his digital journey. Welcome back. You're watching the Forbes India One CEO Club in partnership with Google Cloud, a unique series that recognizes and celebrates India's finest CEOs. India's IT sector is a $136 billion industry. It employs more than 4 million people and grew at 8% in the last financial year. But this particular industry is ripe for digital transformation. In this environment, how does an IT company help its customers get bang for technology buck? To find out, I'm in Pune at the headquarters of Zensar Technologies to meet its Managing Director and CEO, Sandeep Kishore. Sandeep, welcome to the show. It's been 3 years since you've become CEO of Zensar Technologies. At the time, what was the vision?
First of all, Kunal, thank you so much for being here. We're absolutely delighted for you to be at our campus and certainly at Zen Labs, which is really the heart of innovation of what Zensar does. I joined the company in January of 2016. Obviously, the company has been a phenomenal organization, and we really took some forward-looking bets at that time. And we decided that let's be, if not the first, among the world's first living digital company. And I'm exceptionally proud of my team on how well we've delivered on that premise of really creating exceptional client value through first changing Zensar ourselves and then taking that offering to our customer. And it's panned out really well.
What was the return on digital strategy about?
So return on digital, like return on investment. I mean, everybody talks about digital. The route that at Zensar we've taken to market is to be a transformative and enterprise partner for our customer at the digital transformation level. But not just leave it at that, make sure that we create measurable and sustainable business impact. And hence we came out this framework of return on digital, which is a Zensar proprietary framework. And it basically talks about front-end experience, crossover of applications and infrastructures and cloud, and secure cybersecurity, and then also connecting it all the way into the core backend system, which could be legacy, it could be homegrown, could be bespoke. And the only way we believe that you can actually create measurable and sustainable digital impact to the clients is if you connect all these three. You connect core systems to the cloud and deliver it through a phenomenal experience, which is driven from data and analytics. So the spectrum has changed dramatically because of digital being the mainstream.
Okay. Sandeep, so in the traditional model, repeatability was very critical, whereas now it is a project approach as I understand it. So can you explain the gestation periods required for each of these projects?
You're right. Beginning was what we would call it an efficiency-led engagement, where you've got to make it better, faster, and cheaper. The angle of business impact and innovation wasn't there. Now that is at the center. That drives the conversation because digital is the business. AI is the business. And hence everything else has to align to it. With DevOps and DevSecOps now being at the center of it and the whole CI/CD, the continuous integration, continuous development, continuous release, the gestation period has actually come down. So earlier projects would actually take between 6 months to 18 months. Now you have to actually start delivering within 90 days to 100 days. We've actually started to see that you are expected to deliver programs, complex programs to the clients pretty much across the industry in much shorter time period than it has ever been.
Oh, can you explain Zen Talent, because you are trying to map and source talent in real time for your large deals. How does that work?
Yeah, we're very, very thrilled with this. The talent at Zensar is what we call, it is our living AI platform. We've actually launched it very recently, and we've been exceptionally pleased with the way this has panned out. It goes to multiple sources of data within an enterprise, enterprise in this case is Zensar, and looks at multiple different disparate systems, sales, HR, talent supply chain, finance systems, and brings all of this together beautifully in a very, very nice platform.
Okay. In 3 years, you've made 4 acquisitions. What's been the rationale driving inorganic growth?
Yes, we've made 4 acquisitions. Actually, we've done 5 transactions, 4 acquisitions and 1 divestiture. Okay. But yeah, our approach has been very clear, and we have stated this upfront, that we do tuck-in acquisition, which is about bridging the competency gaps, and it's a build versus buy decision. So the first acquisition that we did on my watch was in November 2016, within the first 10 months of my taking over. And that was a wonderful acquisition of a company called Foolproof in London. And it's about design agency. The second acquisition we did was Keystone, which is about omni-channel digital supply chain, exclusively focused in retail. A third was Cynosure, which is a P&C insurance in property and casualty, Guidewire implementation partner. The fourth, which has been our most recent acquisition just about a year ago, another wonderful company called Indigo Slate in Bellevue in Seattle in the United States, which is similar to Foolproof. It largely focuses as digital agency with the CMO, CDO category of our customers here. They've all been fully integrated within Zensar offering, and we go to market as one, even though we have strategically decided to retain the brands of these acquisitions because they're very well respected into the markets that they operate.
What's the role of Zen Labs in your innovation strategy?
First of all, it's just a beautiful setup. And Zen Lab has played an incredible role in actually democratizing innovation within Zensar. Zen Lab focuses on blockchain, AI, NLP, which is natural languages, and augmented reality. That's it. These are the only 4 tracks which are in Zen Labs. We have 5 PhDs who actually work right here in this. We have now taken Zen Labs to our other 2 locations. You are here in Pune. We now have Zen Labs in Hyderabad as well as in Bangalore. And right after Bangalore, we are taking this to US at Raleigh in our US delivery center as well. So it's going to be global. It drives innovation. It works with the rest of the organization to make sure that we stay relevant and we keep invested into what really drives the next generation of business itself.
Okay. Sandeep, thanks for sharing your insights from the Zensar Technologies journey. Time for a short break, but join me on the other side as I speak with another dynamic CEO charting a digital future for his company. Welcome back. You're watching the Forbes India One CEO Club in partnership with Google Cloud, a unique series that recognizes and celebrates India's finest CEOs. We're in Bengaluru at the headquarters of furniture retailer Urban Ladder. Back in 2012, Urban Ladder began as a born-on-the-internet company. It is now expanded to 11 showrooms in Delhi NCR and Bengaluru. To find out how and why, I have with me Ashish Goel, co-founder and CEO of Urban Ladder. Welcome to the show, Ashish.
Thank you.
Urban Ladder is known as a category e-commerce company as opposed to an Amazon or a Flipkart. Is there a fundamental problem therein because customers tend to frequent horizontal e-commerce companies more often?
For sure, customers will frequent a horizontal e-commerce company more than they will come to us. The question really is, when a customer needs a product like furniture, where they need category expertise, they need believability, they need trust, they need design. Are we top of mind? Are we the brand of choice? Are we differentiated enough for the customer to believe this is the brand that I have to go to?
Okay. So in 2012, what was the thesis? Why should a customer go online to buy furniture?
When we started the business, we could see that there were a lot of customers who were doing a lot of browsing online. It was quite obvious that there was an opportunity to build a business which was an online first business. What it also did was it allowed us to have a singular platform where we could communicate to the customer in a very, very sharp, singular voice. Now, in the last 2 years, we have made our business channel agnostic.
Okay.
So we are online, we are offline, we are channel agnostic.
Okay.
Right? But fundamentally, the customer need of design and trust, our brand is focused on these two customer needs, and for those two customer needs, I think we have done some reasonable work. For us, we see a next 20-25-year journey of constantly where we have to keep working on improving the quality of the customer experience.
Before you went with the showroom model, what was the scale of customers that you had seen and what did you learn from that?
Browse volume for the category is actually quite high.
Okay.
However, a large number of those customers are not able to make the purchase online alone. And that really was the insight for us.
Okay.
There's a lot of very interesting reasons for that. A, the category is a complex purchase. It is also a category which is a multi-generational purchase. And the last point I would make, which is also very important, is in India, most of us growing up have not really seen that much furniture being purchased. Right?
Okay.
We've always seen, this bed was handed down and so on and so forth. Our customer has not seen that much furniture purchase before they come to us. A lot of customers need that additional source of understanding, source of reassurance, source of knowledge, which is the role that our stores end up playing.
Okay. In offline, what can we expect going forward?
We run something what we call a product performance dashboard, which essentially is a way of, at every product level, we track the customer behavior. Now, what that does is that allows us to make very informed decisions about the product. Something is wrong with the image, something is wrong. So you get a sense of very, very granular level data and you can make decisions. See, we are a technology and data first company. So yes, we have showrooms and so on and so forth, but that's because we are customer focused. Right? Fundamentally, we are data oriented. So what we are saying is we will take this, what we call product performance dashboard, and we will implement in our offline stores also. Store actually has the potential of giving us not just the data that the online world can give us, it has the ability to give us richer data because it can give us usage data as well. So this is basically our big project.
What are the technology elements that will become necessary for Urban Ladder going forward?
The single largest area of investment that we will keep making for years and years to come is going to be in technology. Cost of doing tech done the right way has come down dramatically over the last many years.
Okay.
Today, you have enterprise level systems which are far lighter than consumer level systems of 10 years back.
Okay.
And that shift actually allows a lot more agility.
You talked about the need for showrooms to be digitized. What I want to know was, how does this go into your replenishment strategy? Does this mean that products will get replaced faster depending on what the customers are saying? And has that begun to play out?
When we launched our showrooms, we implemented an algorithm which we call product rank. It's the equivalent of a page rank algorithm. It gives a ranking for all the products that are there in any of our stores, right?
Okay.
So basis that ranking, you at any point of time know what products are playing what role in my store and should I keep them or not.
How do you use data for furniture makers to have some sort of a feedback loop and improve the kind of products that land up at your showroom?
We have built a state-of-the-art quality management system so that every time something goes wrong, that loop gets closed straight back to the manufacturer and to design, right? That something needs to be changed.
But if you follow that model, how do you get the economies of scale? Because different customers could have different requirements.
Let's say, just to give you an example, I could show thousands of customers 50 images and ask them to tell us which one they like. And basis that gives us a sense of what we want to do.
Urban Ladder has 450,000 customers now. What's the breakup between online and offline?
Little over 400,000 would be online customers, and the remaining would be about 40,000 would be offline customers.
How many cities is Urban Ladder present in now, and how has it increased, say, from 5 years ago?
So we are in 13 cities. When we started in 2012, everybody said you're in an e-commerce company, you got to ship everywhere in the country, and we did that. We started with 100 cities and so on. 45 days in the business, we actually reduced the business down to one city business, right? Only Bangalore. Then we started growing. Again, when we did a very comprehensive review last year, we just weren't satisfied with the results of the customer experience that we are delivering in most of the cities. So we restricted that back. We brought the count back to 13 cities, where now we are a lot more comfortable.
Okay. So what do you think is the scope now? What's possible in the next 3-year horizon for Urban Ladder?
We had set ourselves when we started the business, our vision statement says to make millions of Indian homes beautiful. We would like to be the absolute brand of choice for all those million homes.
Ashish, thank you for sharing your insights and the Urban Ladder journey.
Thank you.
That's all we have in this episode of Forbes India One CEO Club. But join us next time as we talk to more CEOs who are writing a digital future for their company. Thank you.